I've never been very academic. I found my school years very challenging, not understanding the work I was given to do. I can remember from the age of 11 and starting secondary school with all these children who towered over me, feeling like a lion in the dragon's den because I was so different. The bell rang and it was time for the second class of the day, English. I didn't like English that much as we had to take it in turns reading out loud, and this was something that I wasn't good at, as the words on the page would move around like a game of Tetris. And on top of that, I was unable to pronounce certain words. And my classmates would make fun of me. They would laugh and call me nasty names like idiot, foolish, dumb, backwards, retard. Fast forward to 1997, I'm in college, and I had to take a test, as Mr. Matthews said that he could see I was struggling and wanted to see what help and support I needed. I received a letter home asking me to attend Mr. Matthews' office, as my results was in. I attended Mr. Matthews' office, where he said, "Sam, come in, take a seat." As I sat down, I could remember thinking to myself, what is he going to tell me? And then he said, "Your results are in, and you are dyslexic." I remember thinking, what does this even mean? I already knew I was stupid, and now my teacher just confirmed this. And I could hear my classmates in my head also confirming this. See, the thing was, I carried my classmates, my teachers, and my peers with me into my adulthood, believing what they had told me. I had learned to wear a mask and strategies to hide the fact that I was dyslexic, as there was a stigma attached to being dyslexic. People would often say that people who are dyslexic would never amount to anything or be successful in life. However, we know that's untrue. I mean, just look at Richard Branson, who's a multi-billionaire, who's also dyslexic. It's 2014, and I've just started a new job in which I should be full of joy and happiness, as this is a promotion, and I also had additional responsibilities. Instead, I'm there with fear and anxiety because on my first day, I was asked to read a passage from the Standard of Operating Procedures as I was going to be tested on it as part of my probation period. I started to shrink in the chair. The room started to get dark, and all these big black thick clouds started to fill the room. All of a sudden, I started sweating and shaking uncontrollably. Then, my manager said, "It's okay. You don't need to read the passage," as he could see I was having a panic attack. I'd done it again. I didn't have to read the passage, but I managed to get through that. See, these challenges and barriers stuck with me throughout. And in 2019, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is a long-term health condition, and it causes me to have widespread pain constantly. As I sit here now in front of you, I have widespread pain. And when I'm having a flare-up, I end up having brain fog, which exacerbates my dyslexia, as I'm unable to articulate and communicate clearly. I started therapy during this time, in which I was given strategies to help, as this was a very low point for me. I had increased suicidal thoughts during this period, as I started to lose who I was. I no longer knew who I was anymore. I then decided to start adding strategies and routine into my daily routines. I carry around this invisible backpack with me, and in my backpack, I have positive affirmations. So when I'm hearing my classmates, I will pull on my positive affirmations to counteract what I am hearing. Also, I may draw on some gospel music, which helps to lift my spirit and my mood. It helps me to come out of these periods of times. But during this period, I did start to question myself. Why am I so broken? Why have I been chosen to go through all these painful experiences? And on top of that, why are people so mean? It was then that I heard a soothing voice telling me that you are gracefully broken and that it's up to me to rewrite the script and to find true happiness and get to know who I am again. Building that relationship with myself, learning to love who I am, and which I embarked on by doing things that I enjoy doing, being creative, talking to people, and now sharing my story. But this has been a narrative that I have kept with me for the past 40 plus years. So it's taken me a time to get to where I am. Did you know that 1 in 5 people is influenced by dyslexia? They're affected by dyslexia. And it is a genetic difference in an individual's ability to learn and process information. This sheds a light on the commonness of dyslexia, a condition that affects a significant portion of the population. Dyslexia is often misunderstood and stigmatized, leading to feelings of frustration, low self-esteem, and even self-destruction. I would know, I've been there. Dyslexia is actually a lifelong condition and there is no cure. However, research shows that dyslexics usually have above the average intelligence. So why look for a cure? I decided to listen to that voice by embracing my dyslexia, and I started to get to know who I am again by doing the things that I love and enjoy, but looking at where my strengths and my abilities lie. It was time for me to rewrite the script, for me to break through from the past and overcome these barriers and challenges to find true happiness. This is a journey in which I remain to be faithful and committed to, getting to know who I am. By challenging stigma and rewriting the negative narrative by recognizing dyslexia as a strength and not a sign of inadequacy, dyslexics will be able to embrace and overcome these challenges that they experience and face. They are great at creativity, problem solving, empathy, and we are big out-the-box thinkers. I mean, look, I'm sitting here right now. So by moving away from what dyslexics struggle with academically to what they excel at naturally, we can encourage them to utilize their unique differences and abilities to find true happiness. Today, I am breaking a barrier in line with the theme of today's session by standing here forth in front of everyone, sharing my lived experience and overcoming those barriers that I have had and the challenges. I've been given reasonable adjustments, hence the cards, to be able to do this talk with you all here today. And I hope to inspire others who also are neurodiverse to do the same. Find your inner voice. Speak up, speak out. If someone had told me this all those years ago, just think about all the possibilities that could have been. Just think. Imagine. Thank you.